What's up, Wolf Gang? What's good, family? What's good, Global Studies class of 2020. This is Ball, y'all. It's my podcast, and I'm going to tell you about my current event. So today I'm talking about Africa. Back in March of 2017, there was a humanitarian crisis that was pretty much one of the biggest they've had since the starting of the UN, which is the United Nations, after World War II. And since then, like, the problem was that there were 20 million on a brink of starvation, and there were over millions of people who died. And the thing was that the problem was mainly caused by civil war and like places like South Sudan, and it was also due to conflict dealing with extremist groups and militant groups stopping the food from getting to them, and that's part of the reason why they were on the brink of famine. But the four countries that were majorly affected were Nigeria, South Sudan, Kenya, Somalia, and Yemen. Now, pertaining to the group, anyways, the problem was that because of most of the population are predominantly farmers, and the war that they've had, especially with places like South Sudan, has disrupted the agriculture. They've lost livestock and even their farming tools, and and they've had to rely on either stuff that the UN sent or plants and stuff that they could find. And it also was a problem because of due to the inflation rising at 800% a year. It's actually every single year it would raise up, and the prices on basic foodstuffs raised. And part of the problem was that it raised and that they couldn't get enough food. So basically, those four places were basically on a brink of starvation and stuff, and it was a big deal because there were 20 million on a brink of starvation. Now, I'm going to tell y'all about what's happening as of the time after. So, from March 2017 to February 2018, I'm going to give y'all some of the broad logistics of it, and I'll probably tell you in the end, like, the what people are predicting for the latter half of 2018. What's up? However, as of 2018 and after March 2017, the famine has gone down within the last few months in Yemen and South Sudan, and both are one level before reaching famine. But that was as of around June to July 2017, where it was also stated that they are very close, and the percentage of people had constantly been raising and lowering during that time. And there had been, and in terms of Yemen, there have been teams of Yemeni people, like the Mona Relief Team, that tried to fight the famine by delivering food packages with basic cooking ingredients to feed the people. And the threat of the taking over of one of the central ports needed for giving aid to the people in South Sudan is sort of what was a really big deal. And that also happened with Yemen, because they had their Red Sea ports closed. But now in Yemen, the Saudi-led coalition has announced a 1-month extension to the reopening of the Red Sea ports to commercial traffic, and has pledged 1.5 billion in humanitarian funding, and continued flows of essential commodities through these ports is needed in order to basically control the risk of famine in Yemen in 2018. And from October to December of last year, places like southeastern Ethiopia, which was also sort of having a famine but had got clear of that, northern Kenya and central Somalia receive above average total rainfall that they need in order to keep the crops healthy and everything. And the rainfall was only below average in southeastern Kenya, parts of the northern Somali region of Ethiopia, and southern and northern Somalia. And in Sudan, Ongoing harvests have helped out the hunger situation and removed them from famine, emergency, or crisis to minimal or stress levels of hunger. And those are minimal is like the least amount of hunger that you can have on the scale if you're having hunger, because it's a scale of 1 to 5, the lowest being minimal and stress being the second, while crisis and emergency are the fourth, and the fifth will be famine, which is what they were in, but because of the ongoing harvest and stuff in Sudan, that's sort of been reduced. And the large populations in Yemen are going through crisis or emergency, or both, less than famine, but high ranking on the hunger scale, as I said before. And in mid-January, they said that they will also open up more ports too. And Somalia, as of January 30th, have a humanitarian plan that they launched to avert another famine, and they're actually doing very good on maintaining their resources for the people who are still starving, and have received a significant amount of aid from the United Nations. Now, sorry that I ran out of time, but that's just an update, and from that time to here, and that's just a general update. Now, if you want more, there are about 5 to 10 links in the description where you can check out more. You can also check out the UnitedNation.org website in order to find out more on Africa, and you also visit places like pre.org and reliefweb.international and etc. in order to find out more, along with a few other sites that are in the description or the comments below. So leave a like. Thanks for watching, and have a good day, Sabers. And my fan base, but have a good day.